I watched as the women carried palms, shea butter, and other aromatic materials to prepare me for my final purification rites. They had given me a medicinal drink to take in earlier. The bitter and unfamiliar taste made me strict. I lay low on the new mat my husband had bought as the woman massaged me before bathing me like a newborn baby. I wondered if the women thought I have never been bathed right all my life. I allowed them do their thing before they wore me a white shimmy, meaning singlet, and made me sit on the mat laid with white clothes. I was told to sit in a certain posture that they said was seductive, and the sole priority was to satisfy my husband. The last rite is the thing of pride, Aduke. It can either bring shame or honor to our family. It will not be said of us that our daughter has been defiled before our first matrimonial function. My mother had said before I was accompanied by my aunt's maid, Akinyode, and other maids sent from my husband's house to get me. If only my mother knew me better than she did, she could have easily tell that I do not want this marriage with Ajani. Ajani is a businessman. He deals with cocoa and yam. His wealth is spoken of among the people of Odan. Being a man in his youthful age, doing exceptional feats. He was the one who trades guns for Odan people to win against their arch enemy, Abebi people. He made Odan an industrial center to manufacture garri in large quantity. His business prowess earned him respect both at home and abroad. Ajani is a black man. White teeth, broad eyes, average height, and plumpy stature. It's been years that the memories of what I had as a child remains fresh in my heart. The beautiful moments I had with Akinyode, my childhood friend. He said he was my friend when he met my cousin from another village. Abebi followed her mother back to Odan when their Igbarode was ruined by another powerful village, Ayelaju. The ruin left her family in total penury that they had to live with us for survival. I made Abebi feel at home. I treated her like a sister I have never had since. I like your cousin, Abebi. The words came so swiftly from Akinyode's mouth, but it was difficult for me to swallow. A million questions ran through my mind. I wanted to ask why he had allowed me kiss him under the tree we both claimed to be sacred, because that was where I had my first kiss and became a woman. I wonder what I was to him, but my ego wouldn't let me shed a tear over something so useless. And at the same time, deep. She's admirable, I agree. Akinyode, do not steer me. My voice cold and my face fierce from jealousy. Aduke, we are friends. I am your friend and nothing more than that. He spoke like nothing had ever happened between us. What happened to us cuddling up on my wrapper under the other tree? My bare thighs revealing divine stretch marks and my caramel skin tone glistening from the blend of shea butter on my skin. Akinyode runs his hand around them and says they were the cutest thing he had ever seen. I could only wonder how many stretch marks he had seen. All I care about was what he said. Mine being the cutest. Akinyode stopped coming to our usual spots, and that alone destabilized me. I waited for him days after days with no show. I cried my eyes out in pain of my lost virtue. Akinyode has taken what he wanted. There I was. I felt like killing myself, but it was almost impossible for me. I had mates tending to me. I heard Akinyode is coming to our car today. Abebi smiled and beamed enthusiastically. My mother told me Akinyode had seen your father. Something in me wanted to scream for joy that Eledumare has finally attended to my heartfelt cry. It was a moment I had been waiting for all my life. Akinyode finally coming to ask for my hand in marriage. That I was a match for him, made from heaven. I felt he was finally taking responsibility for disflowering me. How did you know all this? Ashabi told me. She was there when Akinyode came with his people to ask for my hand in marriage. Abebi said. That was the moment I knew that Akinyode is a demon, a beast in sheep clothing. I thought of which version of him I knew as a child because the present wasn't the former. My countenance changed. Congratulations, Abebi, I stuttered as Abebi beamed with joy. I even heard our parents had fixed a date with his people and that in the next 3 full moon, I'll be married to Akinyode. My laughter was tinged with jealousy. What exactly does Abebi has that I do not have? I am a successful businesswoman. Abebi wasn't. I was more endowed than Abebi, whose flatness amazes me most of the time. She has a lighter skin tone, tinged with freckles like an albino. I would like you to help me on the ashofi, Abebi said, with stringed face, trying to be cute. That is no problem at all, I forced a smile. Aduke, what kind of man is Akinyode, really? Abebi asked curiously, waiting for me to sing praises of Akinyode. I have none but curses. Akinyode is Akinyode, I said with less enthusiasm. Do you like Akinyode? Abebi asked solemnly. She knew that I like Akinyode. It was an obvious feeling to everyone in our car. Abebi has always liked what I like. The painful part of this upcoming engagement is that she did not even have or try to maneuver her way into Akinyode's life. He told me everything. She laughed. He told me about the other tree, your silent escapades out of your hut, your mates watching over an empty hut. He told me how you gave yourself like an harlot, losing your virginity under an Odan tree. And you still want to marry him? I asked in tears. Akinyode, I like him because you like him. I have always liked him. Who would not? He cared a lot about you. A lot. And I hated it. But see how the gods has blessed me. Good things are not for you alone. Aduke, have I ever maltreated you? I asked painfully. I wondered why there has been so much hatred between her and I. I have always told my mother about it, but she had discarded it anyways and say I should try and be accommodating. I know how to fight for myself in my own way. I never knew I could just be as wicked as I acted. Nobody will ever know my secret. Akinyode will never have mouth to say the evil that has befallen him. Never will he be able to wash himself clean. Know this and know peace, Aduke. Do not ever try to sabotage my wedding, or else you won't have anyone to take you as a wife. Talk less of having respect deserving of a virgin. Abebi has threatened shortly after she announced her engagement. The house was gradually full. I watched as distant and near relatives come and sing. Everywhere was filled with merriment. I picked up a broomstick and made my way to my room to sort out the ashofi for the event. My mother had ordered and paid for the best ashofi for the bride. the bride's mother, her husband, and herself, including mine. The design is so fine. Abebi mothers admired Abebi's clothes. I bet there are better ones out there, Abebi murmured. Your aunt ordered for the best Ashofi, Abebi. It's a very fine design, my lady. It will come out well on you, Ashabi smiled as she weaved her hair. I saw Akinyode entering the house like the groom he was. Only if he had taken responsibility for his actions. And for all ladies in Egba Odan, it is Abebi he chose. Aduke, can I have a moment? No. I am quite busy now. I will see you around. I left Akinyode without looking. What good can come out of the mouth of a fool and wicked man like Akinyode? My mom saw my reaction to him and made her way back to her chambers. You sent for me, Iyami, I said as I readjusted my buba. Let Akinyode go. He will soon be your cousin's husband. I see jealousy burning in your eyes, Aduke. I am not looking at him, Iyami. I just don't want to be friends with him again. And why is that, Aduke? It is nothing. It's just best we stop being friends. Is there something you are not telling me? Iyami, I have a lot of Ashofi to sort out. I left her chambers heavy that I could not tell my mother what had happened to me. If she knows, she will be broken. If she knows, my brothers might kill Akinyode, especially Oyetunde, my eldest brother. He never for once liked Akinyode because of what had happened between him and Akilano, Akinyode's older brother. Don't trust that bastard too much. A fruit can never be far from its tree, like father like sons. Apart from Oyetunde, who had a reserved hatred for their family, Oyedele and Oyekito will not take things easy, and I will later be ridiculed in the community. Wabisu, Wabiwale, your husband's house shall favor you. You shall carry your children in Akinyode's house, Lashe Lidomare. The women echoed, Ashe, before the bride was taken to the event. The wedding lasted too long in my eyes, even though it lasted for only 4 hours. The Elere performed the dance, swiftly shaking their waists side by side to the drummer's beat. It is a thing of joy to see these people at events. The particular crew that came were hired by my mother. She loves their performance and had promised to invite them at every of our family events. Abebi was giggling all through the party as Akinyode whispers in her ear. The party went well. My parents spent a lot on the wedding, and it was time for the bride to be accompanied to her husband's house. The women of the house and the maids accompanied her while I stayed behind. I was right there on my bamboo bed, awaiting the bad news after a long day of celebration. It was already dusk when Ashabi ran home with other maidens, crying as she dashed into her baby's mother's hut. I readjusted my hero and tied it above my chest. The women also came home with no blood-stained clothes, full guard of palm wine, and full box of matches. My mother came out of her room at the sound of their wails. Kilo Shele, what happened? My mother asked. The women were trying to explain when Ashabi cried out of her baby's mother's hut. Egbamio, somebody help me, she shouted as everybody headed to the room. Abebi's mother had fainted. The women quickly went to fetch water to pour on her till she regained consciousness. What is going on here? My father came out angry at the display that was being performed. Ashabi, speak. Don't leave us in the dark, my mother said. Ashabi looked down at Abebi's mother, who was still breathing hard and gasping for air. It is Magun. The groom was misbehaving. He was somersaulting, but the elders were able to curb him before he do it 7 times. Magun is used to curb promiscuous women, and since Magun has been detected on Abebi's body, she will be tagged a fornicator and chased from her husband's house. I smiled on the inside and pretended to be sympathizing with them. The wailing continues as my father returned to his odd silence and heavy at heart. The elders of Akinyode's house will return Abebi's tomorrow because of the shame Abebi has brought on herself and the family. Akinyode was saved by Babalawo near their home. Abebi could have been stoned to death if Akinyode dies. The level of shame you have brought to this family, Abebi, my father lamented. You and your mother, Alake, will not be able to live here with us again. I personally cannot bear to see you. And if the village members do not see you here for a while, they will stop bickering about the misfortune you have brought to this family. Abebi has stopped talking for the past week since she was brought home. The muteness brings great fear on me. Abebi might have hurt me, but it pains me to see her this broken. Ashabi and other maidens were sent with them to a faraway village in Abeokuta. Maybe she might be able to start afresh, and I should face the demons awaiting me in my husband's house. The time flies so quickly, the village had forgotten Abebi, since she was not my father's daughter. My suitors came home, and nobody would have thought Ajani would marry outside the royal family, since his wealth was next after the king's. It was my brother's friend, Oyetunde, and they both had dislike for Akinyode and his brother, Akinlano. He had once caught Akinyode and I under the Odan tree making out. Our eyes met before I turned aside to hide my face. He never said a word to Oyetunde, my brother, even though I avoided him on occasional visits to our house. Oyetunde was more pleased to marry me off to his friend. He kept on telling me stories of their childhood, his likes and dislikes. He told me how the father was useless and he impregnated his mother out of wedlock. How the mother married the mother and neglected them while the mother bare the consequence of her action. The story made me uneasy, like Ajani was about to marry me out of pity. I wonder why he had chose to marry me when he knew I was not a virgin. Ajani spent money and invited dignitaries to our wedding. My family was beyond honored to be celebrated the way they were on my wedding day. Ajani went ahead to pay my dowry. Ajani smiled as he looked at me, coming in with my maidens. I was dressed in ashofi my mother had picked out, and special choices of ileke. I was happy but also scared of the unknown. You will be fine. Everything has been taken care of, he whispered as I nodded affirmatively. My brother was right about Ajani liking me since I was 10. He said he had vouched to marry me because other men are poor and lack the riches needed to take care of a woman. Ajani might even be richer than the king, but respect must be given to the authority of the king. The men of Odan are successful, but not to the level of Ajani's success. So, he can regard to them as poor. My husband came in to me in my white garments. I cried because I know nothing will stain. Nothing to show that I was a virgin. All I heard was a loud sound of joy from behind the walls of the room. What have you done? I asked. I gave them what they wanted, Ajani answered with a smile as he kissed me.